Do you think you can draw a line or even parallel line for that matter? Now, if the obvious answer is a yes, then you already have what it takes to draw this realistic cube. Hi guys, this is Vaishnavi and in today's video I will show you how you can draw a Rubik's cube step by step very realistically. So just grab your tools and let's begin. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to draw a T shape, which is very simple, and after that you have to draw two lines that are almost 15 to 20 degrees. After that you have to draw two lines that are running parallel to each other. So as I had said earlier in this video, this drawing is going to be very simple and the only requirement for you to draw this is the knowledge and the skills to draw a parallel line basically. Okay, now after that you have to draw another line and just observe that how a triangle is forming over there. Then draw again two lines that are almost parallel to each other, but just remember that these lines are overlapping each other, so do not hesitate to overlap the lines. We will be erasing that towards the end. Now it's time to divide the cube into three equal parts. You have to differentiate it into three different parts and then draw the baseline as well, the floor on which the cube is sitting, and then it's time to draw the small details inside the cube. The inner part of the cube that's usually colored, we are going to draw that. And for now what you have to do is just draw curvy lines for the edges and then join those lines. So do not confuse yourself, just draw lines that are really parallel to each other, the horizontal as well as the vertical alignment. Just keep that in mind and then focus on one single square at a time. The only requirement here is you have to just curve the edges of the colored little boxes that we are drawing now, and use the earlier lines that we had drawn to work as a guideline for you. Now for the upper part I don't see any differentiation as such, so I'll not be doing more details over there. But for the second part of the cube there is again the same things repeating, so just follow the reference image that is put at the left side of the screen and follow along with that. For this particular drawing, the most important part is drawing your outlines perfectly. If you do not get the outlines correctly, no amount of shading is going to give you that realistic effect that you are looking for, and no amount of shading can fix the problem that is actually present with the outlines. So yes, and after that it's time to shade the cube. Now for shading the cube, I will first start with my 4B pencil and then I'll be shading only one block at a time and will be shading very smoothly. So when you are shading similar portions, you have to just keep in mind to keep your strokes very much close together so that you get a very nice smooth effect. Now after that you have to use the 8B pencil for drawing all the darkest areas in the Rubik's cube, and here as you can see in the reference image there are a lot of dark areas. Those are actually the parts of that cube that is really differentiating the little tiny squares, all the colored portions that are usually present in a cube, and we have to first shade those areas, because if we do not do that, what will happen is those might just disappear later in your drawing if you do not fix them at first at this step. So yes, you have to always go with the dark areas first and start off by drawing a roadmap kind of a thing, so that when you have to shade the lighter areas, the mid tones, or let's say the lighter grades, the lighter values, it's very much easier for you to proceed. It's not really confusing for you, and the shading part becomes very much easier. So I am following the same thing over here. The third part of the cube is really dark, and the values are similar. So yes, 8B pencil is what I'll be using for all the darkest areas. But the only thing here is I'm using a sharp pencil because I do not want to get away from the boundary. So to stay within the boundary lines, you have to use a sharp pencil. Now I see the first block that I had drawn earlier. I need to shade it further more because that little block looks more darker as compared to the reference image. So I am going to fix that right now. And after that I'll be using my 2B pencil to shade all the blocks that are not as much dark as the darkest blocks, but also not as light as the white ones. So I'll be really looking at the reference image to find out what blocks are of the same values, and I'll go with my pencil and shade all those values first. Now here I'm creating a nice transition with my pencil. I'm just reducing the pressure little by little to create that kind of an effect. This cube can be really nice drawing to practice all the shading techniques that you follow, and at the end of this drawing you will actually be drawing a very realistic cube. So the process is very easy, very simple, but you have to be patient for that. But when you finish that, you will have a nice realistic cube in front of you that you'll be really proud of. Now I'm using my HB pencil for that part, and then I use my 2B and 4B again. So this particular drawing actually has got most of the grades that are ranging from HB, 2B, 4B and then 8B. And all the materials that I'm using, all the erasers or everything, all the links are given in the description. You can just go there and check out. Now for the lowest part of the cube also I am doing the same things. I'll be repeating the same process on each of the block. So it's important that you refer to your reference image again and again, and you have to try to create the same values in your sketch. Now I will also be drawing the shadow areas of the cube, the portion that it's sitting on the ground basically, and then it's time to blend everything out. So for that I'll be using my soft makeup brush. You can get even a watercolor brush or even a blending stump, or even an earbud would do the job very nicely. So just blend everything out so that all the tiny white areas can be covered with your graphite. And this step actually smoothens your drawing really nicely and gives you that realistic effect. So blend everything out and always go from light to dark. Do not go from dark to light because there are chances that you might create dark patches in the lightest areas. So just remember that. And it's almost done. You have to shade it, you have to blend it. But for now I've kept blending process towards the end so that you practice all the shading first and then you go towards the blending part. Now this particular drawing almost took me 1.5 hour to complete. If you follow it very nicely, you can also achieve the same result in less time. So if you really like this video, please subscribe to my channel for more such kind of videos, and I'll be really looking forward to the drawings that you made using this tutorial. And please tag me on my Instagram so that I can see all of the drawings that you're making, and just stay connected with me. Now thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.